Alright, here we are at the Idle Hands Workshop. Today we're going to be building the center case, or working on the center case for my John Welsford Pathfinder. I've been working on this boat since about March of this year, getting to the point where I'm building the more complicated structures like the center case. The center case, of course, holds the center board, which obviously Mr. Welsford calls out for this to be constructed out of 9mm marine plywood. Now, I've got some of that locally here, but as anytime you have smaller, thinner plywood, you're going to have a little warpage issue. Well, that's the amount of warpage I am dealing now. Those are the two sides of the case, and I've got them set up so that they're basically face to face, just like they're going to be in the boat. And you can see there's almost 25mm of bow between the two of them. So what I'm going to do today is try to get rid of that bow. Now, these boards need to be coated on the inside with fiberglass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a layer of fiberglass on the inside of both boards. I'm going to start with the bottom board, lay a coat of fiberglass down, of course with resin, put a separating film in between them, a parting film called peel ply, then put my other sheet of fiberglass on top of that, and then I'll put my other side, my plywood, and I'm going to pinch them down together. I'm going to clamp the mess out of them so when they clamp together, they'll clamp up straight. And I'll do two things for me. That'll allow me to straighten out the plywood after the glue sets and the fiberglass is on there. It's as rigid as it's going to get, and it will keep its shape. It'll also provide up a lot of clamping pressure, so all the excess resin will come out, because you know the strength comes from the fiberglass, not from the resin. Anytime you have excess resin, you have excess weight. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to get the camera set up so you can see what I'm doing. And shot dog's in the way. But I've been stirring my epoxy for about 4 minutes now. Most important thing you can ever do when you're messing with epoxy resins is make sure they get mixed correctly. Now, normally this gives me about a half an hour to play with it, but since I've got such a large pot of epoxy here, it's probably going to be more like 20 minutes. So I've kind of got to get a move on. So I've already got all my materials laid out, nice, neat, orderly fashion. It helps out a lot. So we'll start with the first layer of glass. I wish I would have had some that came off a roll instead of being folded. Makes it look a lot neater. But use what you got. And this is what I have. Sam, you're killing me. I made a mess. That's okay. That's what I got my drop cloth for. There we go. You notice my fiberglass doesn't run all the way to the edge. That's fine. I'm going to be gluing packers on this end, so there'll be plenty of coverage. There'll be a, say 40mm thick hardwood packer there, so there'll be plenty to keep the water away from the wood. Alright, that should do. Now, this is a porous parting film called peel ply. You lay this right down with the composite layup, trying to make sure it's centered without pulling up any of the other fiberglass. I'm doing a poor job of that. There you go. There we go. we'll lay this same as we would a piece of fiberglass cloth. We'll wet it out with resin, get it nice and smooth. Wipe my scraper off. Nobody likes working dirty. Alright, let's work these little wrinkles out. Now this is, you can see because this material was folded, it does have some wrinkles that will not come out. That's fine. Interior, this is the actual interior of the center case, so if it doesn't look perfect, I'm not too really worried about it. If I was looking for perfect results, I would get the peel ply that comes off of a roll. That way there would be no seams like this one. But for my purpose, as long as everything adheres together, I should be happy. Alright, happy. There we go. Now, up to the last piece of glass. This slides a little better on the peel ply. I've got a little bit more overhang on this than I did the last piece. Let's see, alright, that looks good. Let's wet it out. Okay, that's wet out. Put a little bit more over here. The wood really soaks that epoxy up. Let's see. There we go. Alright, that looks good. Alright. There it is. Now comes the part where we clamp the crap out of it. I want these two pieces lined up absolutely as good as I can. Alright, the blows come off. That's it, okay. Come around to the back side, clamp on it. Right there. Now some of the dangers of doing this is if I'm not very smooth with my clamp up, I can cause the fiberglass to shift, which will pretty much ruin my day. But hopefully I'll be smooth about it. So here's what it looks like after it's all clamped up. The clamping procedure took about the same amount of time as doing the glue did. And like old White Earp says, you gotta take your time in a hurry with composites. Hopefully everything was compressed evenly in there. A lot of things can go wrong with this. You can have fiberglass fold over, you can have heavy resin pockets. You just never really know until you unpackage it to see what it looks like. It's going to be tomorrow morning. I'm going to let it set overnight so it's good and dry. I have a sample kept of the glue here. It's fairly well set up, but for safety's sake and that, in fact, I'm kind of tired. It's time for a beer. But one thing I do want to show you, if you got a straight edge here, lay it down onto the part. No gaps, humps, valleys, nice, good, flat. After we separate this at the peel ply, take all the clamps off and separate it. There will be a little bit of a bow to it. It will try to return to its normal shape. It won't be that bad. It'll probably be 1 or 2 millimeters at the most, as opposed to when we started we had 20 to 30 millimeters. I can work with 1 or 2 millimeters. I still have a lot of pieces that have to be attached to it. These are the packer blocks that go in between the two sides to make the gap for the center board. These are firm, beefy pieces of wood, so they'll go a long way to straightening out the bent plywood also. As for now, I'll see you tomorrow morning. We'll see what it looks like, and thanks for watching.